you've got a flat tire. Come out of your work, go to your car, you've got a flat, nails in your tire. What do? There is alternatives. You can fix tires by yourself, on the road, or at home, if you have the proper tools to do that. And I've been fixing tires since the late 80s with this method. I've probably fixed 50 tires or more, I don't know how many it is, and I've only had 2 tire plug failures in that whole time, and I'm going to tell you about that a little later. Anyway, I'm going to be using the tire plug method, and I did intentionally put a screw in this tire just for this illustration to show how it's done, and I wanted to do it on the bench so it was clear and concise and you could see exactly what was going to happen. But anyway, you need to start with your kit, and I found this one on Amazon, and I really like this kit. It's about 18 bucks, and it comes with everything that I want to fix a tire, to plug a hole if you get a screw or a nail or whatever. It comes with the tire plugs themselves. Those. Comes with a tire air pressure gauge, which you always need. And one of the things I really like about this one is it comes with a tiny pair of needle nose pliers to pull out the offending screw or whatever you have in your tire. It also comes with a tire valve stem remover, and that is one of the reasons I like this kit as well, because if you have to take all your air out of your tire, you just unscrew your valve stem, all the air comes out, and you might more easily get that tire plug into your tire. It also comes with valve stem replacements. Again, I really like this kit, and it comes with caps for your valve stems if you're missing a cap or it's broken or whatever. And the T-handle tire plug installation tools. Okay, I'm going to talk about these for a second. If you go and buy a tire plug kit and it does not have a T-handle on it, and it looks like this, keep looking, because this is garbage. And I've had this for years. It's like the first tire plug kit that I ever bought. Garbage. You have to get the T-handle style kit, because you do have to put some elbow grease. So you get the T-handle kit, and I like this kit. I'll link it in the description down below this video. And it also comes, once you get the tire plug installed, with a razor knife to trim the outside of the plug off of the tire so it's flush with the tire. This kit comes with everything except rubber cement. And that's another story. That's the reason why my 2 tire plugs failed, I believe, is because I used too much rubber cement and it acted more like a lubricant. And I had a flat tire, limped my truck home, got my tire plug kit out of my toolbox, plugged the tire, put a bunch of rubber cement over it, put it in there, let it sit overnight. It held air overnight fine. Driving to work the next morning, I got about 10 miles away and I heard the tire plug actually come out of the tire. And the tire was pissing air. Left me stranded on the side of the road. I had to call a tow truck because it was in a HOV lane. It was too dangerous to get out and try to change a tire. So I had to have it towed home. Anyway, my advice on rubber cement is don't use it unless you absolutely have to. And if you do use rubber cement, use very, very little of it. And I mean, if you're having a hard time getting your tire plug into your tire and it just won't go, put a little bit of dab of rubber cement right on the very tip of your tool and a little bit on the tire plug itself. I mean, very little. And see if you can get it in there. And that's the only way I would ever use rubber cement. So let's go ahead and pull this out. We're going to check it first. And sometimes when you get a screw or a nail or whatever in your tire, you can't see it. You're going to have to find it. Usually this happens when it's on your car, unless you can take the tire off of your car and fix it that way. But 90% of the time you're in a hurry, you got to leave that tire on your car. And this is a method that you can find the whatever's in your tire if you can't see it. Sometimes you can hear it, but you can't find it. So what I like to do is I like to take glass cleaner and spray over the tire if I can't find the leak. And wherever you spray your glass cleaner or soapy water, whatever soapy substance liquid that you have, this will bubble up and show you where it's leaking from, and we're going to do that right now. Now we're going to spray some soapy water on this screw just to illustrate if you can't find the leak. This is how you do it with either glass cleaner, soapy water. And some of you might be saying, how do you make soapy water? Well, it's real easy. You take dish soap and water. You put it together in a spray bottle or whatever you've got, spray it on there, and it'll show you where the leak is. So I went ahead and made some soapy water, put it in my spray bottle here. We're going to go ahead and spray it on there. You can hear the air coming out. And like I said, if the head of this was missing and you couldn't find the air leak, but you could hear it, you could spray it with soapy water or the glass cleaner and find it. So let's try it. Now it's leaking so much air that it's blowing bubbles. And you'll see the bubbles come out. If it's a really bad air leak like this, you're just going to feel it by hand and find it anyway. But if there's a little small leak, you spray it with the glass or the cleaner in the soapy water, it's going to blow bubbles at you like that. So now you can see the bubbles coming out. So we're going to go ahead and remove this screw and start plugging it with the tire plug. Okay, I'm going to take this screw out, and when I do, I'm going to want to put this tire plug reamer in as quick as I can so it doesn't lose any more air. Especially if you're on the side of the road or at your work or something, you want to keep air in the tire. So you want to pull this out and put this in its place as quick as you can. So let's try to get this out. Seeing that it's a screw, I'm going to try to unscrew it. If this were a nail, you'd have a better chance of just prying it out. You might want to carry a little screwdriver with you just in your kit, just in case. See that all the air is already leaked out of this tire just in the short amount of time that I put it in. So there it is. That's the screw that was in there. So we're going to go ahead and put the reamer in. And this is where you need the T-handle, because you're going to have to put some effort into this. Twist it all the way in. That's why I had to put this on the ground. Now once it's in, you're going to want to pull it out like that. And you might want to do that a couple of times just to clean that hole. Make sure the tire plug's going to stick into it. I'm actually going to leave this in here while we get the tire plug ready. Well, before you get your screw pulled out, or your nail or whatever you got, you want to get your tire plug and put it on your tool before you pull that screw out and put your reamer in the hole like that. So when you get this reamed, your tire plug will be ready to go, and you can pull your reamer out and stick your tire plug right in without losing any air. And you can see the end of this tool you can stick the plug in through there. You put it right through there, and when you put it through the tire, and when you pull it out, this is split. This end is split, and it will release the tire plug, and the plug will stay in the tire. So you'll want to squish the end of this down, and these are really sticky. And and feed that through the hole in your tool. And you want to pull it exactly halfway through. See, now we're ready to use that tire plug, and I'm going to set this aside. Pull this out, we can put the plug in. And we're going to do that now. So, like I said before, if you have a hard time putting this in your tire, put a little dab of rubber cement right on the tip of this, and maybe a little tiny bit. And I'm talking a tiny bit, not very much, on either side of your plug. So let's go ahead and put the plug in. And this takes some effort too. It's going in. And you want to get that plug as far in as you can. And that's about good right there. You can see how far in that is. And now I'm going to take and pull out real quick and leave the tire plug in there. There, plug's in. The hole is patched. Now, if you'd like, you can take and trim off this excess with the razor knife so it's flush with the tire. And there you have it. And we're going to put some air back in this tire and make sure that it's not leaking. Okay, I just put air in this tire, and now we're going to spray it with the soapy solution to see if it leaks. I can't hear nothing, can't feel nothing, no air coming out. It's plugged, it's fixed. Now if you think this method is not the method that is very safe, if you go to a tire store and you have a nail or something in your tire and you don't specifically ask them to dismount your tire, patch it from the inside, and put the tire back on the rib, they're not going to do that. They're going to do this exact method. So any tire store that you go to is going to do this exact method unless you specifically say, I want my tire patched from the inside. And if they do that, plan on spending about 30 bucks or so, because they're going to have to take the tire off the rim, patch it from the inside, put the tire back on the rim, and then rebalance the whole assembly. So that's where your expense is. I mean, this whole kit was like $18, and I just fixed a tire, and it'll fix, how many plugs we got? Probably 10 or 12 plugs. That's 10 or 12 tires you can plug. So keep that in mind, and I've had thousands and thousands and thousands of miles on tires with plugs in them. I've even plugged motorcycle tires with these and not had a problem. So there we just patched a tire. You could do this at home or at the office, whatever. This kit, I know, like I said, I'll put the description down below in the, or the link in the description down below. This kit's just going to go in the back of my old Suburban, under the seat or something. And I've plugged probably 5 tires on that old Suburban over the years, this exact way. So this is a good way to go. If you don't want to do this, you're not comfortable with it, take your tire to the tire store and go that way. But for the guys that like to do it themselves, like me, here we go. Be safe out there.